Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the midweek session. Good afternoon, Matthew. Good to see you. And everyone else for that matter. Good evening, Braden. Good to see you, buddy. And hey, Paul. Good to see you too, man. Hey. Hope you guys are doing well. Oh, I say guys and girls. Nadia's graced us with her presence for the second day in a row. My God. I do feel honoured. Good to see you, Nadia. Thanks for joining us. I know you're ridiculously busy at the moment, so no, it's good to have you with us. Yeah, you are on a roll, yeah. All right, guys. So it's been a real busy week so far. Performance wise, on reflection, I wouldn't say it's been plain sailing. I do think it's been a little bit of a indecisive week. Obviously, we had the incredible moves in the big gaps that opened up from the weekend and all the drama that's been continuing to happen since then. But it's not all been completely straightforward. A lot of choppy price action. Took another series of trades last night, triggered via pendings. Not even last night, yeah, sort of time from 2 p.m. really, 2 p.m. onwards. A variety of our trades were triggered via the pending orders. The stock session yesterday was actually good. So that's one thing, and we can cover that in a moment. The NAS 100 was really, really nice. So a really good result from our breakout trading yesterday. And so that's absolutely fine. But it has been a real mixed bag with the commodities in the FX space. And first of all, our oil long, our 1 to 2 in the oil, that was good. So that actually fumbled around for ages. We had a bit of a close cool down here at around 76.63. And then overnight kind of continue to sort of transition itself and have some areas of imbalance in and around that sort of 77.60, 77.20 area. And then today we got this really nice intraday rally right up into liquidity. It actually came up to dip out just below 79, which is where it's printing at the moment, 78.86. But it did hit that target, so that's good. Gold, unfortunately, got stopped out pretty damn quick. And it never even reached target as well. So we did come down pretty close, and that was at around 2:15 in the morning. GMT time, obviously. But this one got stopped out, unfortunately, at 3 o'clock yesterday. So we took this one together in the stream, and then it decided to roll over on us at 3 p.m. I mean, apart from this, I mean, we would have been stopped out, right? It's the same old thing if I drag this right the way across. But it was only that little bit of a wick, and then it basically remained at around the entry point pretty much for the whole time, apart from this dip down here to the low. So that's a loss. We then had good afternoon, James, and good afternoon, TJ, as well. I can see you in the room. Hope you're well, mate. So moving on then, Aussie CAD had this as a pending order. This triggered and hit stop loss as well. So this is another one. Obviously, don't ignore the start time of these. I put the trades in via the pendings, but ultimately the trade itself is however long it is. So that's the trade. And unfortunately, this was a stop out as well. So we had that breaker structure, pretty damn decent. My actual entry was on here for 1 to 2.17. And yes, that one came up and got stopped out at about 5 o'clock as well in the evening. So both of these trades were 0.25% as well. So that's a 0.5% down on that one. 0.5% down across those two. Sorry, I meant. We didn't have anything further in the Aussie yen. And so that's that. We didn't have anything in the Aussie NZD. The Aussie dollar never triggered. I have officially removed that as well. So the pending order is no longer in the market for that one, considering we have now broken through several major structural points and positive imbalance is almost on side. It's almost confirmed. I mean, we need a breakout of this level directly above where the price line is, and we're pretty much there. So if we get a break close and a retest, a successful one of this area, then I'm going to start to look bullish on the Aussie dollar instead, at least all the way back up to around 66.40. So CAD Swiss has actually done incredibly well. We didn't even have any trade ideas in this one, but it's done really, really well with some really nice impulsive corrective formation here as well, right up to our major point of liquidity, the most recent one that we had in the market at around 62.80. It's a shame we didn't get anything in on that one because it was actually a really nice mover, but there we go. Euro yen, this is just a repeat of the third trade idea. Bearing in mind we took a loss on the euro yen. Second attempt was a success, and then copy and pasted the exact same trade over once we hit this spot of liquidity in here, and that one was good as well. That one hit target at around 2:45 a.m. GMT. We didn't do anything on the Euro NZD, unfortunately, as well, because the Euro NZD and the Euro Oz together were both very good movers, coming down to major areas of liquidity here. Yeah, that was a bit of a shame. I mean, to be honest as well, if we look at that midpoint of perhaps an M reversal, this is a really decent spot of liquidity in here. Really decent. The problem is, of course, is the damn time. Because even though this is a really sweet setup and we got such a beautiful retest of it in a breaker structure, that was at 1:45 in the morning. So unfortunately, well out of our trading time zones. If you were an Asian session trader, however, and you were up at that time, then yeah, really, really good. But you got to give kudos to it. I mean, you know, credit where credit's due. Really solid trade. Really, really solid trade. Yeah, definitely. I would completely and wholeheartedly agree with that. Asia session has been superb. Yeah, really has. Lots of consistency, lots of big moves. It's been really good. Yeah, really, really good. And then unfortunately in the European sessions we have to kind of deal with the dwindling volume and stuff. It's been a strange one. Yeah, it's been a strange one. Flipped on its head. But I suppose, you know, if fair is fair, because usually, generally speaking, the Asia sessions are quite slow and a bit of a grind. So I think it all comes around and goes around, doesn't it? This Euro Oz trade was really nice as well, and there's no excuses. I mean, this wasn't there was nothing wrong with taking this yesterday. I just didn't want it short. I just didn't like it short. But we actually got such an amazing breaker structure on this candle at 3:15 yesterday, and ultimately TP would have been achieved at around 2 a.m. Missed by a hair's breadth. To be fair, your target profits might have been triggered by that low there. It is possible because of the spread. But if you didn't, then you would have definitely hit TP at this area here at around 2 a.m. And that was a really nice trade as well. That was not in the pipeline. It was not in the order book. Pound yen, yeah, you know, it's been okay. I don't think it's been great. I think it's been a bit of a difficult market to call. Obviously, we look at this bar here. That was the news at 2 a.m. The market weekly rollover as well caused a little bit of volatility there. But honestly, yeah, not much for me in pound yen, to be honest. We got cable. So we had a locked-in cable short, pending order down at the lows here. That's nowhere near. I'm almost to the point of removing that pending order from the market as well, considering the fact that we do have a break close and a retest, which is underway on cables. So if we get a retest continuation, basically, that's going to be a bullish sign. So you might think actually there is probably room for a relatively decent long in cable. Should we have the retest come into play here? I don't know where your entry is going to be. It could be anywhere from around 127.20 to 127.25. A sort of 5 pip margin, I suppose. Yeah, between that space. Yeah, I mean, you could be looking at a 1 to 2.3. You could be looking at a 1 to 1.7. Really, it's impossible to say right now, but there is the possibility for a cable long. So I would be looking at that one. This is a manual execution. There won't be any pendings for this one. Reason obviously being that we're looking for that continuation pattern to happen, and there's no way a pending is going to be able to tell us that. So it is a manual execution trade. Something to be keeping your eyes on in the background. Maybe you want it as a small little window up here or off to the side where you can kind of monitor the situation just whilst we're trading the stocks this afternoon. Um, nothing more in the NZD JPY. Obviously, we took a hit on this at the beginning of the week, and again did second attempt, which was our win. We were looking at this one as a breaker structure trade, doing this 1 to 1.7 yesterday. For whatever reason, this was not a pending order. I wanted to manually execute this one, and didn't. So, yeah, I mean, well, ultimately, guys, it would have been a loss instantly, but that wasn't in the portfolio, that one. And then we actually ended up going for some huge bullish breakout, and the huge bullish breakout, it took us right the way back up to the top of the daily liquidity zone. So really, really nice big corrective, the deeper corrective, as TJ. Oh, there we go. Look. So yeah, there it is. The daily deeper corrective. NZD USD. I mean, it's nothing for us here. Yeah, nothing for us here. Still not a huge fan. This is the area where I'd expect price action to trade up to. We get a break out of this area, things will begin to look interesting. But at the moment, I don't like any of this. None of this stuff. This might have been okay, but one hell of a range for not much trading. This move to the downside, beautiful. I do not like any of this stuff to the upside at the moment. So yeah, it's gonna be on the back burner. USD CAD didn't have anything on it. No order book positions. It looks at this stage to be, I would say, relatively healthy for a move lower. Major point of liquidity in here was this area. Right, so we can see the big spike up, huge rebound, V reversal, straight up, beautiful pullback, retest as well. Really nice continuation to the upside. So if we drag that along here, and then maybe just a little bit upwards of where we are, we then have this really nice point of interest. We pull back, retest. We've now got a break close and a retest currently underway. And so therefore this one might start looking pretty damn good for a short. Now, the next major point of interest in this one, where there's been a lot of imbalance, is around here. Right, so we've got a lot of retesting liquidity around here. So I would say, even though it's not the biggest, I would say that it's probably considered to be quite a cash-rich area between 37.10 and 37. So if we were looking at intraday trade this USD CAD, I'd ultimately be looking for the breaker structure below the current series of lows, i.e. this area in here. Entry directly below, about there. Target profit, stop loss 50% point between the two zones. That's going to put you in at around 1 to 2.6. Now that is a healthy risk reward ratio. Again, generally speaking, I like to look for a 1 to 2. That's good enough for me, but 1 to 2.6 in this regard, I think is going to be okay. I think when it comes time to actually setting up my trade, I'd probably go for a 1 to 2.4 and just have that a little bit higher up. I do that. You know, I don't tend to get too greedy. If I'm earning twice as much as I'm risking, then I'm doing good. Anything above that fact is, you think a bit optimistic. So, nice potential on the USD CAD there. To be added. That's an official one. Add that in. And then we've got the USD yen. Now we took this hit on the USD yen. And then we had this one here as well. So, all in all, a very, very mixed bag indeed. I mean, loss, if we go through and we count, we got one win, one loss, two losses, two wins, three losses, 3 losses and 2 wins. Now, we can claw ourselves back because of yesterday's NAS 100. And yesterday's NAS 100 trade was really, really damn nice. Really, really nice. So, yesterday, NAS 100, we were trading around this area here, 231. There was this breaker structure here, which was really nice, really solid breaker structure. And I took this trade, and I lost. And then I took the same trade again, and I took the trade in the second time upon this area in here, in this little U, and I waited for this. And that one was very nice. And bear in mind that was full risk as well, 0.25, so that was good. So 1 loss, 1 win, and then I was 100 there. And then the US 30 Dow Jones over here in this area. And the US 30 Dow Jones was absolutely fantastic. So got this trade here. I don't know if you guys managed to get that one, but this was our 1 to 4, which was absolutely beautiful yesterday. Did anyone manage to catch that? Yeah, good. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, really good. Caught the Dow long, but was away for the short. Yeah, well, I caught the Dow long, and then I handed some back, unfortunately, because I actually ended up getting greedy, and I went for a long here as well. So that's why that's in. Again, don't worry about where the beginning and the end of the trades are. This is just where the orders are. So yeah, this was my my second Dow long trade. So I had 1 Dow long trade here for a 1 to 1 for a 1 to 4 on the dot, and then I had that trade in there, which was a loss. All is 0.25% risk as well on those. So 2 wins, 2 losses on the stocks yesterday, but obviously equating to some really nice returns. So it's not too bad. I mean, look, at the end of the day, we made, it's a fair bit that we've made across the week, no doubt about it. No fears about that whatsoever. But the win-loss ratio is definitely tighter, and it has been for a few weeks now. I mean, we've got 370 trades or something. I don't know, maybe closer to 400, and I definitely know that in the portfolio now. And so it's incredibly difficult to move the win-loss ratio number of 62.5, whatever it is, win-loss ratio. And that's actually coming down now. It was 62.5 and now it's 62.43. So if you imagine, there's got to be quite a lot of losses bringing that number down now that there's such a larger number of trades in the actual data. So yeah, it's been tough, but the risk reward and the risk management really, it just pulls through, doesn't it? Time and time again, it really does. Every single time. That's why we've got a foolproof risk strategy. You're never gonna blow up. The only way you blow up is if you go and sort of, well, I was gonna say something then, but I won't. But yeah, if you're putting the bloody house on it. Hey, Scotty D. Yeah, no worries, mate. Good to see you. Good to have you here with us. My God, what a turnout. Got it. Yeah, a full room. So, yes, in reflection then, very, very mixed week in terms of the market calls. Like we've just seen, lots and lots of trading activity. My God. I mean, even on Monday, we had 9 trades. 9. Yesterday we had, I don't know, just don't quote me on this, but I believe we had about 7, in total. I mean, there's been a lot of trading activity. Today I've taken my foot off the gas. I need a break. Yeah, I need to, things need to settle down for a day before the latter half of the week kicks in tomorrow. But yeah, it's been incredibly active. But yeah, I mean, it's not been. We haven't seen those insane runs of wins. It's been very, very mixed. Very, very mixed indeed. It'd be interesting to see where the week ends and when the data gets pulled into the track record as well, because it's not pulled in any of these latest ones at the moment. I'm hoping it. Well, it should be bloody. It should be any minute, to be honest. It should be any time from now. But I keep checking it and refreshing the screen, but it's not pulled through yet. So just waiting for that to go through its updating cycle, and we can have a look at where we actually are rather than me speculating. So apart from those couple of trades that I've added for you guys today in terms of the portfolios, USD CAD short, we want to be adding that into our basket. We don't want to be adding anything in the USD yen, the NZD USD. No, that wasn't it. What were we looking at? Oh, that's right. Yeah, cable. Yeah, cable. So I want to see the push into liquidity, and then I want to see that bounce back. Okay, so I want to see this push into this zone, not just resting on top of it. I want to see the push into it, and then it coming back, and that's our trade idea long in cable. So we got the cable long, we got the USD CAD short, and that concludes the new additions to the pipeline for today, and that's all I'm gonna bother with. Everything else can just relax for the time being. And then we get ourselves over to the stock markets. We'll have a look at what's going on here. I think, to be fair, just like we did yesterday, I'm going to be essentially looking to recycle yesterday's zones, because let's face it, I mean, they are absolutely brilliant at the moment. They're still very, very active, still having an excellent response to the price. Lots and lots of cash. Okay, large blockers for the bears here, you know, and very, very large cash blockers up here for the longs, for our bulls. So we really want to be focusing with the range, continue with the range, have faith in the bigger players around here that are protecting the price action from rising and falling. Now, looking at where this NAS 100 is, bearing in mind we are coming up to the 2 o'clock mark and we're trading at 18,339, we have got a fantastic potential for shorting the NAS 100 and looking at that TP down at 1798. A really, really fantastic potential because of where we're trading right now in conjunction with time of the day. I mean, it's really lining up nicely for us. And breaker structures in here for that short. In terms of risk profiling and the evaluation stage of that, specifically, we have a technical risk factor at around 1815. Now, I'm saying 1815. Your charts might have a different price, but ultimately, it's going to be at the low of the wave that we've just had. This area in here, you'll all have that on your charts. But that is a technical risk factor, and make no mistake, it definitely will have some kind of adverse reaction to a bear move. So if the market comes down here, we could definitely see a bounce back to 1827, and you could find yourself in a bit of a dud market where it's just sort of trading around sideways for the afternoon between these two areas. Now, this does make around the 50% level between the high and the low, the ceiling and the floor of this current structure that we're in at the moment. However, if we go down to a 1 minute time frame here and we actually study this trading margin, you've got a decent trade. So if we sort of tighten this up and we say to ourselves, right, okay, I want to be looking at like this area in here, for example. So that highlighted area is going to be my structural breakout. Entry is going to be down below there. Target profit is going to be on top of that zone there. Stop loss is going to be above those two zones. You guys are looking at a 1 to 2.46 already. Yeah, so you don't need to be looking for anything else. 1 to 2.46, you guys are taking home 0.6% in your account approximately. You know, 0.7 even 0.65 or something like that. So that you can do that trade and you can walk away. Done and dusted, you know. And so that's one for the NAS 100. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the longs today. It has to be a 15-minute BCR outside of this level of liquidity for me to be interested. Okay, so that's one thing to take into consideration if you are considering longs, or if that's what the market gives us. Now, unfortunately, guys, the US Dow Jones is in the exact same position. I like the potential for shorts in the US Dow Jones. I think it's quite clear where we should be looking. Break a structure point, technical risk factor, target profit. I mean, it's almost exactly the same as the NAS. I prefer the NAS 100 though, so don't worry about the Dow Jones. Period. The NAS 100 is the one to go for the shorts, but they are incredibly similar. And for both of the longs, it's non-negotiable. It's a 15-minute BCR. If you want to take it without, then that is on you. But just so everybody can hear me, I am only long these stocks today if I have the necessary respect paid to the markets. Big liquidity areas, 15-minute has had a huge imbalance of price reaction, 1 times, 2 times, 3 times. Even, to be honest, 4 times, kind of, because of this move back from here. There is a lot of cash and a lot of magic happening in this area in the US Dow Jones. There is even more of that kind of source happening in the NAS 100. 15-minute BCRs, absolute minimum. And then we can look at going long. And the long TPs are pretty simple to articulate. 15-minute time frame, that's going to be your long TP there in the NAS 100. So up at around 1850, which makes sense. Really nice TP area. For the US Dow Jones, if we get the 15-minute BCR, it's already marked out for you. So you'll be looking at it's a big wide zone. It doesn't look very pretty, but that's just where it is. And that's where your TP will be. So 39.70. So 1850 for the NAS 100, 39.70 long for the US Dow Jones. Now these trade ideas, they're going to be pretty good. You know, if 15-minute BCR aside, you are still going to get a very, very healthy risk reward out of them. Let's say it's a break close retest of this area in here. That's going to be your point for the continuation. So you're probably looking to continue the trade up at around maybe 39.405 potentially. So let's just get that up there, 406 for the sake of argument. Well, your stop loss is going to be there. That's a 1 to 2.5. So that's really nice as well. But these are intraday trades. 1 minute time frame, the margin's going to look whopping. I mean, look at the size of that. You know, that's a pretty big move there. But I would expect this distance to be covered quite well. Obviously, with the American market volume starting to flow in. Another thing to consider today, okay? Look at the actual gain of the stocks. Global stock markets are all up today. S&P's up 1.5, EU 50 up 1.9, DAX, UK FTSE, both 1.15, 1.12% respectively. NAS 100 1.85, Nikkei up 6%. Global stocks are rallying back. This is what I've been talking about. You get these massive, massive sell-offs. What do you want to do when the market crashes like that? Buy, buy, buy. That's what you want to be doing. So this is happening in real time. And, there's definitely the chances of where we're trading today that we could continue. But I think the markets have been pretty damn bullish throughout the day so far. We're currently now at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I think there's an equally fair chance that we're going to see a bit of a pullback. Whilst we have the bigger players behind the scenes accumulating their orders, accumulating positions before takeoff. Yeah. So that's where I am. That's where we're at. So with that being said, do we all have a nice, clear sense of things? Is there any ambiguity that you would like a little bit more specifics with, or anything? Or are we absolutely fundamentally clear on what our plans should be today? Excellent. Brilliant. I love the optimism. I love the confidence. Okay, guys. Right. Guys and girls. I will love you and leave you all. I wish you the best of luck. I want to know how you get on, so please get chatting, post your trades in. I always will do the same, and we'll see how we fare. And yeah, just keep an open line of communication. If you're struggling or whatever, or if you find anything hiccups, even on the flip side of that, if you want to flex some trades, you know, do it. I want to see it. But let me know regardless. So have a good one, guys. Take care of yourselves out there. Trade safe as always, and I will see you then. Thanks, team. See you later.